Hello! You may recognize me as the host of Models and Movies on YouTube. Here at Models and Movies, we strive to make a professional quality product that you might enjoy watching. That includes upgrading our cameras, lighting, even the TV behind me to use as a monitor for fun little things and video. Now occasionally we have a problem with equipment, and on this episode we had such a problem. You see, I record voices on this Tascam DR70D. It's a great little field recorder. The only problem is, if it loses power for whatever reason, the whole file's gone. So generally I have a USB power with batteries backed up in here, and this time I just didn't. The power died. I lost all the audio. Long story short, so what I had to do was take the audio from one of the cameras, and it's not very good. It's a little echoey. It's below the quality standard that Models and Movies likes to stand behind. But hopefully it's listenable and you won't turn off the video right away. In the future, I'm going to go back to having a USB battery backup with the batteries internal to the field recorder so that this will not happen again. I do thank you for continuing to watch these videos. I have a lot of fun making them. They take a lot of work. And now, please enjoy the feature presentation. 4K, I'm good. Whatever. Hi, everybody.
Are we starting?
Hi.
Hi.
Are you gonna wear your hairband as a bracelet the whole time?
Oh, it's gone forever now.
The cat will get it. Hi, everybody.
The
Welcome.
cat.
Welcome to Models and Movies. Look who came back. It's Lissa.
Hi.
Lissa, thank you for coming back.
Thank you for having me back.
Do you have popcorn in your teeth?
Do I?
Nope.
Okay.
Lissa's my favorite because every time she posts something on Instagram, I get like 100, 200 followers. How many followers do you have?
152K.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's her handle on the back there. You can't join unless she accepts you, but you usually accept everybody unless they're jackasses right off the start, right?
No one's ever mean. I always have
okay.
really good stuff.
Good.
Yeah, always good stuff.
So take a look at her pictures. They're awesome. Sometimes I take pictures of her.
My favorite.
Yeah. What? Thanks.
Yeah.
Anyway, we watched a movie today, and that movie was a Serbian film. And this is a film about how far a child is willing to go to win the love of his father. We didn't watch a Serbian film. What did we just watch?
What was it called? Fateful.
You got it? Fateful Findings.
That one. I was gonna say Fateful. Okay, that one. I don't
We
know.
watched Fateful Findings. And that is for those of you who know and who probably clicked on this video because of it. It is a Neal Breen film. And if you know Neal Breen, you know you're in for a good time.
Okay.
And I have a beard.
You have a big beard.
It's going to go away. So
He's got beard oil in it too. I'm proud of him.
We're only doing this one show with the beard and then I'm getting rid of it.
I get the beard show?
The beard show.
Ah,
I'm your
I win.
beard. That's so cool.
I'm not all gay though.
Let's do beer of the show.
Okay.
Beer of the show today.
Beard of the show.
Beard of the show. Now I gotta make a new graphic, damn it. Beer of the show is called Poolside by J Dub's Brewing Company. And why do you suppose I chose Poolside?
Because the really hot naked chick that was swimming naked.
Yeah. A portion of this film takes place poolside, and it's really dumb. Alright, so let's try Poolside by J Dub's Brewery. What kind of a beer is this?
I don't know, I'm not there yet. Oh, I didn't do that very good. I didn't do that very good.
I'm not going to make any comments.
I usually do really good when I pour beer.
So no head?
No, there's...
So no head?
It's good.
Anyway, it's called a Kolsch style ale. I don't know what it means. Can you see what kind of alcohol content is on it?
Oh.
You won a gold medal.
5%?
Oh, that's an easy beer.
Yeah, that's easy.
Cheers. Thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you for having me.
You are a wonderful and delightful companion.
I'm a dog.
Arf.
Woof.
Oh, that is. It's really light. It's refreshing. It's a beer that
It's
you should
good.
drink by the pool.
It's good.
Not bad. Okay, so poolside beer. Good. So let's talk about Fateful Findings.
I don't need the shit. I mean,
So, just a very brief history of Neal Breen. Neal Breen is an architect who works in Nevada. And at one point he decided he was going to make films. Is he?
He should have stuck with making buildings.
Yeah. Would you say that he is good at making films?
Can I plead the fifth?
I want to say that I appreciate a person who takes it upon themselves to just live their dreams, go after whatever it is that they want to do. And Neal does that.
I appreciate the effort.
Sure, because he went out. And he basically did everything about making this film. He produced it, he wrote it, he stars in it, he edited it. He did the music, he did everything.
Music? There was no music. It was bad sound the whole time.
And it shows, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he had 3 different sound operators, boom operators, and it's probably just because whoever was on set that day. Yeah, it was not so good.
So much acting.
There was so much acting in this. All right, so this is going to be the most difficult review I've ever done.
Yeah. Do you want this back?
Yeah, I'd like to try to keep some sort of order.
I drooled.
Nice.
Sorry.
Am I that much for you? Is it the beard? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's not. She's a good actress. Okay, so I'm sorry, I didn't formally introduce you. This is Lissa, Nicole, and her. I already showed you. Anyway, we're moving on. What is the plot? Let's talk about Fateful Findings. What is the plot of Fateful Findings?
Is there one?
Mm-mm.
Because I didn't get any of that movie.
As best as you can briefly explain. What happened in this movie?
They found a mushroom that turned into a special rock.
I feel like if we go step by step, it's going to take 45 minutes to explain it. So,
because you can't explain this movie, it made no sense.
The big overall picture. So you have 2 little kids.
2 little kids. They're like a love thing. One
Friends,
moves away.
yes.
They never forget about each other. They come back later in life, and magic happens. Because every day is magic.
It's a magical day.
It's a magical day.
It's a magical day.
It's a magical day.
Yeah, so Lissa is not wrong.
I'm not right, though.
That is the plot of the film. Basically, it's 2 kids. They were friends, and then she moved away.
Yeah.
He gets hit by a car when he's 40 years older, and she's not his doctor.
When she's 60 years older. Or when he's 60 years older,
60,
and she's only
like
40.
30. So he gets hit by a car by some stripper, I guess.
In a Rolls Royce.
Oh, and her tits were just there. They were. I told you not to wear a bra, but you didn't listen. Okay, so he gets hit by a car, and he's in a comatose state in some living room somewhere with oxygen tanks, and
in some living room.
It's not his doctor, but she is the neurologist doctor, who comes in and says, "I'm not his doctor, but I'm checking on him."
He isn't my patient, but let me know how he's doing, and I'll check in on him later.
Right.
For some reason.
Because he was in a coma.
But they also called her in, because I remember that doctor saying, "I've called the neurologist to come in for a consult."
Our director of neurology will be here in a minute to see him.
Not as eloquently as that, though, because Neal Breen doesn't know how to write dialogue.
Or how to put on face masks over a cast or oxygen tubes.
Thank you. So you know when you're in a hospital and they give you the little breather tubes that go in your nose?
Yeah.
Well, he had that. And then you also know when you get picked up by the paramedics, they put a face mask on you to give you oxygen. Well, he had that also.
But it was all over a cast.
But it was all over top of a Phantom of the Opera face thing. Yeah.
It was like...
Maybe he needed both to be able to breathe through that thing.
Yeah.
Possibly.
It was...
All right. So there's also a rock. A magic rock.
I wish I had it.
It's basically just a black crystal die is what it is. A 6-sided die.
Yeah. It wasn't special. I
mean,
it was.
But it was special because it granted him special powers. He had it when he found it in the box when they were children. Mm-hmm. But they couldn't leave the box empty because that would have been bad luck.
It's buried treasure. You can't leave the box empty. It's bad luck.
Right.
So what would you put in that box?
She filled it with some random bracelet beads that were on the ground in the woods next to her. So she put some in the box.
But
and
it was
she
a
said,
mushroom that turned into the box.
Right. It was
The
a magic
beads-
mushroom.
The beads weren't there until the magic mushroom left, though.
And then the beads showed up next to
Then
it.
the beads and the box, buried treasure.
It's buried treasure.
Right. It was a magical day.
It's a magical day.
It was a magical day.
It's a magical day.
All right, so then she made a bracelet out of the other beads,
Right.
and
The next day she moved.
the next day she moved.
The next frame.
And the boy didn't know how to wave because he was like waving like that and kept out saying, Leah!
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 That was Leah. That wasn't. Oh, that was Leah.
Leah, I wrote down.
Oh, I thought Leah was the young girl.
No, that's
Allie.
Allie.
Okay.
All right, here we go. We're
Okay.
reviewing a movie.
Woo!
And then he wakes up magically because of the black square.
He's in a coma in the hospital, and all of a sudden his hand opens, and boom, there's the rock.
Yes.
Nobody ever took it from him.
Nobody ever took it from him. But he's naked. So then he wakes
It's on
up.
the butt.
I touched the butt.
I touched the butt.
So we then see him wake up and he decides he's leaving. So he pulls the aquarium tubing away from his arm. He just pulled it off because it was taped to him. And he walked out showing us the cock and balls. Well, not really, just the
No, just
the button,
back
the
and
button
butt.
sack. Button
Yeah.
sack.
It's all good.
Neal Breen likes to show off his naked body for some reason. Would you say it was a good, sexy body?
No.
You're not into
I said it wasn't
old man?
hairy.
You're not into old
I
man
love
body?
old men. I don't like hairy old men.
All right, so then he apparently walks home because he somehow got home, and he gets into the shower, and his wife yells at him for coming home.
What are you doing home? You're supposed to be in a hospital.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be home.
Yeah. Then what happens?
She goes and she's like, "Oh, you're in the shower? Okay, let me get in the shower with you, fully dressed, and then we're gonna slow dance and make
Oh
out."
my God, it was the most awkward
Yeah. it
welcome
was.
home thing, and he bled out in the shower, I think.
He didn't bleed out. It was just like a femoral artery bleeding out, but he's still alive. You know? No big
He's
deal.
magical. Okay, and then what happens?
What do you mean? Excuse me.
So he's home and he's writing a book,
Mm-hmm.
or he has a
a
damn
novel.
master's degree, but
I have a damn master's degree in computer science, and I turn out to be a writer.
he made his money writing novels.
Right.
Yeah,
So everyone thinks he's writing his next novel.
but he's not. What is he writing? Or actually-
Government secrets.
That's right. He's
hacking into the government, and he's finding out all their
national and international.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue hacking into these government systems to see what I can find out about all this national and international corruption I know is going on.
He's finding out all the secrets, guys.
Yeah. From laptops.
From laptops.
So many laptops.
Well, I mean, it's because he got on the dark web.
You're right.
Yeah,
I
he
won't
like
go
had
there. It's scary. I won't go to
he
the
had
dark
extra
web. He was very extra.
connectors.
All right, so then his next door neighbors are,
A hot babe and an alcoholic.
yes, who are not sleeping together, and that's made very clear
Yeah.
because she's so pissy.
I love you.
I'm very busy.
She's a little temperamental. She's feeling neglected.
Great boobs, though.
She's got great boobs. Oh my
Great
god,
boobs.
fantastic boobs.
Yes, and in pure Neal Breen category, there is no bras in this movie whatsoever,
No, it's fantastic.
especially not for Neal. All right. Well, then there's some convoluted bullshit that happens. There's murder. There's deception. There's
You're
infidelity.
going really far into this.
I am, but
really
we're gonna circle back to it.
Okay. Okay.
And it culminates in this scene at the end, which I'm not gonna explain yet. But it's one of those things where it's just like, what movie is this now that we're watching? This is...
Every scene was a new movie. Because they just
That's
cut
true.
and they died, and then it was the next scene, and it was...
That's kind of
It's like
true.
when he was like, get away from me, I'm doing work.
Yeah.
And then the next scene was, I'm so sorry I neglected you.
Right.
And it was all within like a 10-second frame.
Yeah.
That was...
Neal doesn't know how to make movies. So he just makes
Hopefully
scenes.
he's not watching this.
He just makes scenes and then puts them together without knowing what you're supposed to do between
And the sound
scenes.
is in and out,
Oh,
up
boy,
and down.
Sound is bad.
Bad.
All right, so that's the plot. It's awful. So let's talk about the characters then.
Okay.
So who's our main character? Who is our hero?
Neal.
Neal Breen.
What was his name? Daniel?
Dylan.
Dylan. I was close.
Yes. So just like in
Claudia.
90210, Dylan is our main hero, and
Is he a hero?
kind of an anti-hero, I think, because
Is he a protagonist or an antagonist?
he's a protagonist, definitely.
But then don't say anti-hero.
Well, I mean, because he's not a pure hero. Because first of all, he cheated on his wife
He doesn't save anybody.
and let her die because he knew she had a pill problem. Yeah, she has a pill problem. She got hooked on his pills that was prescribed by... Not the doctors, by the way.
I am missing all their names.
They were prescribed by the therapist.
Leah. No.
Amy.
Leah's the doctor.
Amy's the next door neighbor.
Okay.
The wife's
that's not
name...
the therapist.
The wife's name is Emily.
Okay, so we got Emily, we got Amy.
Oh,
we
I didn't
got
pay any
Leah,
attention to the names of the
We got
therapists.
Allie.
Allie is the daughter. Hot daughter.
Hot daughter.
Hot, topless, swimming daughter.
And in the shower.
And in the bathtub, she was going to pour herself a bath, but it was
Pour?
never going
I
to.
think she draws
pour.
herself a bath. You don't pour a bath, you draw it.
Well, okay, but it was never going to fill anyway because the thing was still up. Okay, so yeah, so let's talk about so Dylan's wife is Emily. Emily is a Russian bride.
Mail order
Russian bride. And she does not have a very good command of the English language because at one point she said she's going...
I'm out of my head!
I'm out of my head.
I'm out of my head!
I'm so out of my head.
That's not the same. But anyway.
That's what she said.
No, that's what she said.
Oh, yeah.
It was probably written as I'm out of my mind.
Yeah.
And then the next door neighbors are Jim, who is...
The alcoholic.
And his wife is...
Who's the hottie?
Amy,
the hot babe.
with the big tits. They don't get along, but they have a person living in their house. We don't know who owns her because there's a weird line in it.
Yeah, the two of them were talking, and there's a young daughter, and the guy looks at his wife and goes,
Oh, you mean your stepdaughter?
well, that's your stepdaughter.
Which would imply...
That it's neither of their kids.
Right, and she's just living there.
So we don't know who she belongs to. But she's hot, so it's cool.
I mean, I guess. You thought she was cracked stoned through some of the movie.
She's so stoned. She's 100% a stoner. There's no way around it.
Because she was delivering her lines a little slow.
Well, it wasn't even the line deliverance. It was just the stuff she said. And I mean, it was how she said it, but
Yeah.
no, she's a stoner.
All right, and we said
So
her name
good.
was Allie? Leah is the girlfriend, the young girl that Dylan was friends with in the beginning, who he loved from the time they were 9 and never stopped thinking about her.
Yeah, they say they thought of each other every day.
Every day.
I think of you every day.
At the most awkward
Like while
pool
he's...
party ever. Barbecue. Yeah. That was weird.
So there was all the couples there.
Yes. Well, no, not all the couples. It was just
Doctor
the
came-
neighbors. The neighbors and the kid came over.
And then the doctor and her fiance.
All of a sudden, this doctor showed up.
The doctor at the hospital.
It's nice to see you.
And we don't know who invited her, where she came from. She just showed up.
Yes, and she has a fiance.
I'd like you to meet my fiance, Tim.
So yeah, she had a fiance that she brought to the party and invited everybody, or introduced everybody to. And that's when she got a phone call. And then
I don't remember what...
the book fell out.
Oh, yeah, the book fell out.
The same book that she had
Okay.
since they were children, and it opened to the page that said,
Every day is magical. Or
It's a
today
magical
is,
day.
It's a magical day.
Whatever it is, every day is magical. Whatever.
It's a magical day.
It's a magical day.
It's a magical day.
It's a magical day.
So that's when Dylan sees it, and he's just like, is that you?
Is that the same book?
Is that really
But wait,
you?
pause.
Okay.
Stop. So he was in the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and this doctor comes in to check on him,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't realize they're the same person. Does she not look at medical records? Like,
not
does
a
she
very-
not look at, oh, this patient is so-and-so. Oh, I know him from childhood. No.
She's not a very good doctor. She looked at the chart, but she never looked at the name.
The name, yeah, which I mean, I guess that's not the important part, is to really look what's wrong with them.
Yeah, but I
But
think
you would
they
look at their
the
name to come in there and say, hello, so-and-so, and greet them properly.
Or, just know who it is so that they can talk to the
okay,
family
so
or whatever, yeah.
Pause again. After
You,
I made
you
this
brought
comment,
that up, and I was just like, oh my god, that's amazing.
I made this comment, and then 2 seconds later, she was like,
I couldn't see your face. Gosh, I never thought to look at the name on the chart.
and I was just like, okay.
That's what I want in a doctor.
Yeah, don't look at my name, just fix me.
So they're still at this party, and that's when they decide that they're still in love with each other, and
They start groping each other?
do they make, I guess they make plans to meet each other later, because then
Is
later,
that what the park was?
later they meet each other. Yeah, I'm not willing to believe that they just happenstance ran into each other at the park. I believe they must have set up the meeting.
You know, none of this is making sense at all.
The movie didn't, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, I just want everyone out there, all you, to know that this movie made no sense. You too.
Yeah. If you can watch this movie, do it. But do it with friends and alcohol, because it helps.
Because it makes no sense and alcohol makes it make sense.
A little. There's also a smoke monster and a man with shiny black shoes.
The smoke monster is the bloop.
Bloop.
The bloop.
You taught me about the bloop.
The mermaid sounds, the
would you,
bloop.
Would you explain to the audience what the bloop is?
Okay, so the sound, the bloop, is a thing in the Navy. I think it's the Navy, I'm assuming.
Were you in the
they're out
Navy?
there. No.
Nice. Oh, I thought you were a seaman.
Okay, so it's like this noise that they thought was dolphins, but it's not dolphins, but they can speak with dolphins, so they're saying it's mermaids, but like, who really knows? I learned this on the Discovery Channel documentary.
I thought mermaids were actually
Manatees?
manatees, yeah.
But they don't talk. They don't make the noises like dolphins make.
Truth.
So, this
How-
bloop sound.
How hard up you gotta be if you're looking at a manatee and going, oh yeah, I want that.
You're a really drunk pirate.
R. Okay.
Arr.
Okay.
Drunk pirate.
Drunk pirate.
Like your beard.
So that is the characters basically. There's some supporting characters of the therapists, and then at the end there's a bunch of old people characters that is the president of the bank.
I resign today as president of the bank.
Mm-hmm.
And a senator and a congressperson who all kill themselves. But we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah, I was like, where are you going
Yeah,
with
I
this?
know. I jumped ahead. So, let's talk about the quality of the film now, since we kind of ran out of characters to talk about. What did you think of the quality of the film?
It sucked. I had to be really serious about that.
All right, then. We see where you stand.
It was a terrible movie. I completely wasted an hour and 20 minutes of my time.
There's a special surprise coming up toward the end of this review that we're not going to talk about just yet, but a surprise. Okay, so what about the book? The first scene in the movie, we see a book.
It's just a book, and there's sprinkles coming out of the sky, glitter.
Yeah.
Falling on top of the book, and that's it.
What did you think it was at the beginning? You said something about the sprinkles, and
Oh,
it
we
made
said
sense.
it was Twilight.
Twilight.
We said it was Twilight.
Yes, we
We're
thought
like,
it was
no,
all
there's
5
sparkles,
books.
it's glistening in the sunlight,
Is it
it's a
4
big
books?
book.
4 books?
I don't know, I've never read them or seen them.
Me either.
Sorry, Twilight fans.
This movie was a much better love story than Twilight. But go on. So the book. You have theories about the book.
It shows this book throughout the film.
It's a big book.
It's a very big book, and it seems to pop up after he's mentioning government secrets and theories and conspiracies and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So I just said, hey, that's all the book of secrets in the world, or in the government. And the book, was it not getting bigger?
Made sense to me? No.
It got bigger.
No.
It started out little and it got bigger.
It was pretty big when it's
I don't know. It was a big book, and I swear it was getting bigger with all the government lies.
But that actually makes sense, and that's not something I've heard on other people's reviews of this movie. So that's not bad.
It was the Book of Secrets.
I kind of dig that.
Mm-hmm.
You also had a theory that that Dylan was a ghost.
He was.
Oh, so we're going with that now.
Yes, because he died.
You feel he died in the hospital.
Yes, and that rock just kept his soul alive.
Just hauled ass, and he was just like, I'm a ghost now.
Yes, and that's why he could get through buildings and go through walls, and he could put his arm around her and bring her through a wall.
But what about, okay, so there was a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so listen, you guys. This is if David Lynch and Ed Wood got together and made a movie. That's how stupid and screwed up this is. He tried to have all this mystical stuff that was just weird, but it just came off as inept. It just came off as...
Very much so.
Just didn't know what he was doing.
It was irrelevant.
There's this room that has black plastic all in it.
It looks like you're in a big trash bag.
Yeah, it's supposed to represent the inside of the cube, we think.
With a naked Neal.
Always a naked Neal. And then later, there was a naked Leah in there, but we have theories about that as well.
She was not Leah. That was the young girl. The hair was too long. The hair was too dark. The body was... Oh, I don't know. They both had really hot bodies.
Yeah.
They both had really phenomenal bodies. But the hair was long back and long to her elbows, and it was brown, where Leah had short blonde hair. And she was never naked anytime.
That's true. She was almost topless. Oh, she did do the sleeping...
Dropped.
She did the sleeping side boob
Side
thing.
boob. She did. She did.
That
Side boob's hot.
Twice in the movie where it was the sleeping side boob.
Side boob's hot.
I think we landed on that actress didn't want to do that scene naked with Neal, so they brought in some stripper that had blondish hair, whatever, to
like a stand-in.
to do that one scene because Neal is creepy. And he was like...
I wouldn't want to interact with him.
He was like holding her naked, and he was naked too, and... What did you think? Okay, so we talked about the quality of the film. We didn't, but
sound.
So yeah, video and sound. What do you think of the? What did you think of the actual video of the film?
Shitty. It was cropped right here when it zoomed in on somebody. Their head was out. Their chin was out. Like
that's a good point. Okay, so let's talk. We'll talk briefly about the cinematography of this film. And almost every shot the camera was put on a tripod, and the actors just did their thing. And I believe that's because in a lot of the shots, they didn't have a person behind the camera. Neal probably set the camera
did it all
up,
himself.
Focused it, and then got in position. And
it took about a whopping 10 people to make this entire film. If that.
You think 10?
Okay, maybe like 6.
Maybe 6. Not counting the actors, but yeah.
Can you like roll the?
They're rolling
the
right
credits?
now.
Okay,
so
where
what
it's all him.
Yeah, what you're seeing behind us is the credits rolling. And what's interesting is anything in the credits that has a B or an N in it, that's basically Neal Breen. So it's the catering, it's the casting, it's the sound, it's what are you doing over there? It's everything. So Neal pretty much did everything in this film. But he didn't obviously want to put his name on everything because that would have looked silly.
It already.
Which, once you know that, it looks just as... in fact, it looks sillier that he made up all these other companies that did these things, but it was him. Yeah, so...
I mean, if he wants to feel important, let him feel important.
Well, look, I mean, I make films, and I'm going to make a feature one day.
But you do, like, incredible work.
It's going to be better. It's going to be better than a Neal Breen film.
Yeah.
But when you say better, was it entertaining?
No.
Oh, that face.
No, that movie was not, like, I just kept watching it like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? When is it gonna make sense? None of it made sense. None of it happened. It was...
Nuh-uh. So we took a small break. Lissa got the hiccups.
Really bad.
And we had to deal with that. She spewed all over my brand new coffee table. I'm assuming it's watertight, but I suppose we'll find out.
Wait. There's just a little bit of it.
There's a lot of it, but okay.
I fixed it. It mostly went on the paper.
It's like there was a rainstorm in here. Anyway, so we were talking about the quality of the film, the video, the actual video.
And it sucked.
It sucked. So let's move on to the audio of the film, which based on...
Also sucked.
Do you think, what was worse, do you think? Video or audio?
The audio. Because it'd be the same scene, and he would be really, really loud.
Yeah.
And then she'd be really quiet.
I concur.
But it was like terrible background noise at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think they used microphones like we're using to capture any audio. I think they literally used a microphone on top of the camera, pointed at the actors, and you could tell. What about the music in this film?
Music?
Because Neal...
What music?
Neal was the music supervisor. There was basically one basic song that played through...
And it was not fitting.
It was sappy and silly and just piano-y and... I don't know. It was okay, but it wasn't very good. I mean, at least there was music in it.
Barely.
He went that extra step to put some music in his film. What about, Lissa, what about the special effects in this film? What'd you think?
Well, there was...
I splashed beer in my eye.
At least it wasn't me. As I hiccup and cough all my beer.
Yeah, I wish I would have been here.
I wish the cameras would have got that.
I had walked out of the room when she did that. And I assume it was a scene out of Exorcist.
It was pretty good. It was embarrassing, but it was good.
So there were special effects in this film.
Only the smoke and in and out of walls.
Yes, there was phasing through walls. There was cross dissolves. There was that mirror shot where he was looking at himself in the mirror.
Oh, yeah.
That was
and
cheesy
then he walked
stupid.
Away.
And then there was
a vampire with a reflection.
There was one shot early in the film where he gets hit by a car that actually looks okay.
Can you hear me?
Like he's actually getting hit by the car. I'm not really sure how they did it, but it's probably just some stupid After Effects bullcrap. It was okay, but...
That was probably the best special effects.
Yeah, maybe, because everything else was just so god-awful.
Pretty terrible.
Yeah. I'm fairly certain I could do better in 15 minutes on my computer.
I'm definitely certain.
Thank you for your confidence.
I got your support.
All right.
I'm your support.
Thank you. So, now comes the hard part of this review. Lissa, does it work?
No.
Well, that was easy. Let's first define what this movie is.
Is it suspense? Is it horror? Is it thriller? Is it a comedy? Because it was a joke.
I think it was all of those things. Okay, no, I think it was trying to be on the order of like The Pelican Brief or these convoluted spy thrillers. It didn't work as that, but I think that's what it was trying to be.
I literally don't know what happened at all the entire movie. I watched it, but none of it made sense. None of it tied together.
I was there. You did watch it. It's not like you fell asleep. You weren't like this. You weren't just tapping on your phone. You were paying attention.
I was. None of it tied back together. None of it came around other than the two in the beginning and the two in the end. That's the only thing that came around and made sense. Yeah. And it didn't even make sense how they came back together. Because it had nothing to do with the stone or the bracelet. Her bracelet was completely irrelevant the entire movie, other than the fact that it showed her wearing it.
You're right, and that's interesting, is that when you're making a film, a lot of times, well, all the time, you're not supposed to put anything in your film that doesn't matter. And so much of this film didn't matter.
None of it mattered.
Okay. But the overall story that I think Neal was trying to tell was corporate and government...
They lie.
Espionage and fraud and... I don't know. Okay. I don't know what he was trying to say, to be completely honest. Nobody does, to be fair. I've watched a lot of reviews about his films, and nobody knows what he's trying to say. But I have to admire Neal for making the films that he wants to make.
Like I said, the effort was A+. He did it all himself.
Yeah.
That is a group project in and of himself.
Yes.
That was impressive.
Because like I said, I make films, and it requires the input of a lot of people.
Yeah.
And a lot of work from a lot of people. And when you're doing it by yourself, I can imagine it gets a little...
Overwhelming?
This. It gets this. It becomes a Neal Breen film. So yeah. Alright, so no, it doesn't work for any type of movie that it's trying to be. Whether it be thriller or horror.
Please just don't waste your time.
Drama. Totally waste your time.
No, it's not.
It's so rewarding, so worth it.
So not rewarding, so not worth it.
I am never asking you back, because we're just going to watch something else that's awesome.
You?
No, I'm totally going to ask you back, because you're the best reviewer I've got.
Woo! You better put that in there.
Alright. Oh my god. Things have gotten out of control. So the last thing we're going to talk about is how many alcoholic beverages it would take.
Oh, I only had 2.
To enjoy this film.
Oh. Enough where you black out and you don't pay attention. I don't know. It was not a good movie.
But it could have been funny, right?
No.
If you watched it with a cooler person?
No, you're pretty cool.
Yay. What was that? I thought you went like, take that.
Yeah. No,
Me,
I was like, yeah,
cool.
you.
With the beard.
Yes!
That's gone. Anyway, so a number
Of beers?
of drinks to enjoy it.
I don't have a number.
Do you have a letter?
6.
6 is not a letter, but I will accept 6. And we failed by only having 2.
Yeah, we did.
But unfortunately, if we had had 6 during the film,
I wouldn't have even watched the rest of it because I would have gone off and danced somewhere else. Because dancing is way more fun than that movie was.
I mean, I agree. This it's hard to watch, but
okay.
Go.
You just kept saying, "Oh, give it a second. You'll get into it. Give it a second. It'll make sense." Well, you were like, "It's slow in the beginning. It's slow. It's slow." Okay, well, the last 10 minutes, it was still slow.
I want to talk about.
And I wasn't into it.
Okay, I want to talk about some of the slow shots in this film.
The medical.
Basically, yes. Thank you. I'm gonna get there. Basically, what I do in filmmaking is I'm a director of photography. I do all the camera work and set up the shots, stuff like that. So shots mean something. In this film, I feel like, well, first of all, he didn't know anything about shots because there were shots where it was basically, this is the shot that you're seeing. It was so tight on people's faces that I think I could have counted pores. It was so tight.
Good.
And then there were other shots where they did these extremely slow, long pans over either equipment or when he was laying half dead after he got hit by the car. Just long. It took way too long to do these things, establishing shots, and oh boy, was it not good.
No.
But that's what's great about Neal Breen films, is they are not good, but they are so awesome. Oh, that face. That's such a great face.
What part of it was awesome?
Every part was awesome. Especially if you know anything about making films, it's amazing how good this film is. So I recommend it, but I'm gonna say, okay, you said 6, but I think that's just like a starter.
I just threw out a random number that came to my head.
I know, you gave up. So I have to say 8. And the reason why I say 8 is because you don't plan on doing anything after you watch a Neal Breen film. So you might as well be shit-faced.
I need your pineapple.
Don't eat that pineapple. That's bad. Yeah. So I'm saying 8, and you'll be golden. You should probably have 4 before you start it, and then 4.
Oh
during.
yeah.
4 before, 4 during, and then you're probably gonna enjoy it.
It's kind of cool to make up your own story, like I did, though.
Okay, so that's what Lissa was really good at.
I was just, everything meant something different to me, and I just kept like making up, oh, it's gonna go here, oh, it's gonna do this, this is what that means.
I have seen several reviews of this film, and Lissa brought up some very interesting theories that I've never heard before, and they kind of make some sense. Yeah, they kind of make some sense. Like, there's this mystery man walking around in black shoes.
Knees and feet.
Yeah, knees and feet, and he disappears, and you're saying that was Neal.
That's because he was dead.
Yeah.
It was him acting, of course. I could tell by the locked knees and arthritis.
Sure. Sure. And then later in the film, it's revealed that he was a friend because Dylan and Leah talk about somebody who'd been there, but he was a friend.
Yeah.
Whatever. Now is the time that I'm going to reveal to you, my lovely audience, a scene pulled straight from this film, and you kind of have to watch the scene to really appreciate this as much as you should.
I apologize ahead of time for my bad acting.
It's not worse than the actual acting in
That's
itself.
true. That's true.
So please, if you will, enjoy a scene from Fateful Findings.
Please stop. You can't do this. Please don't do it anymore. Are you going to stop? You can't do this anymore.
And that was us doing a scene from Fateful Findings. I don't know. Did we do it better than they did? Or it doesn't matter if it's better or worse.
Oh, it's better.
Better?
I did it.
That's a good point, yeah. And
hair flip. I did it. I did it, so it's better.
So I hope you enjoyed that. It was a little bit different than the usual thing where we do like a themed photo shoot to the movie. But to be completely honest, I couldn't imagine a photo shoot.
The only one would have been
you would have a cue.
No. The only thing
blood
that
on your
bloody,
face?
No,
in the shower. Oh, that would have been good.
In the shower, the sheer white dress in the shower with blood.
Do you have a sheer white dress? I do.
Do you?
We might do that.
That'd be a cool one.
Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been the 21st episode of Models and Movies. Yeah, 21.
Wow.
21.
Yeah.
I don't know when the next one will be or who the next one will be with.
I'll be back soon.
I so enjoyed this today. Thank you so much.
I did too. Thank you.
One last.
Here, you want some of this?
Mm-hmm.
You want me to pour it in? And then
no, you'll spill it.
You want some of this?
Here.
Cheers.
Cheers. Glug, 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 glug. Thanks, everybody. Bye.